Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The hour has come for the College of New Jersey commencement ceremony to begin. As the College of New Jersey Wind Ensemble fills Lions Stadium with music celebrating our graduates, including the familiar strains of Pomp and Circumstance, I ask that you combine the joy and fulfillment of the occasion with your attention, respect, and the dignity befitting commencement here at the college. Leading the processional this morning, we welcome the School of the Arts and Communication Class of 2022, led by graduate Nicolette Chianclapore. We now welcome the School of the Arts and Communication faculty, led by Professor Suzanne Hickman. To conclude our processional, now entering the stadium is the President's Party, led by Grand Marshal Dr. Matthew Bender and the TCNJ Army ROTC Color Guard.
Good morning. Please be seated. My name is Nicolette Simo, student member on the Board of Trustees at the College of New Jersey. I hereby call to order the 2022 commencement ceremony for the School of Arts and Communication. It is an honor and a pleasure to welcome you and all of those watching via our live webcast to these exercises, which celebrate our newest graduates as they join the ranks of our distinguished alumni. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I offer the graduates a heartfelt congratulations on their exceptional achievements and their extraordinary promise. At this time, I present to you Dr. Matthew Benner, Professor of History and Grand Marshal.
Thank you, Ms. Simone. We will begin our program today with the singing of the National Anthem, led by Emily Obenauer, a member of the class of 2022, accompanied by the TCNJ Wind Ensemble. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the singing of the National Anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you the 16th President of the College of New Jersey, Dr. Catherine Foster.
Thank you, Dr. Bender. It is an honor to add my welcome to this joyous occasion, the 2022 commencement exercises for the College of New Jersey. Let me begin by introducing honored participants who will not otherwise be introduced during the ceremony. I ask each group to stand upon introduction and remain standing until we have recognized the group. First, it is my great pleasure to recognize and ask to rise members of the College of New Jersey Board of Trustees, the President's Cabinet, Senate leadership, and members of 3 important advisory boards of the college: the TCNJ Foundation, the TCNJ Alumni Association, and the Trenton State College Corporation. Thank you for being exceptional partners to this college and for your attendance today. Please join me in applauding their contributions to the college. Please be seated. I now ask members of the TCNJ School of the Arts and Communication faculty, led today by Faculty Marshal Suzanne Hickman, to please rise if able. Thank you. Graduation cannot happen without these indispensable members of our community. As dedicated, talented, creative, and award-winning teachers, advisors, mentors, and scholars, you have given immensely to prepare our graduates for this day, to ready them for their next chapter, and to generate their fond memories of TCNJ. Please, students especially, join me in extending our deepest thanks and appreciation to your faculty. Thank you. You may be seated. With the members of our talented and dedicated TCNJ staff, many of whom are working at this moment, this event, please rise if you are able. You have nurtured our graduates from before they enrolled as students and throughout their time on campus. Your care is further reflected today. Plants and chairs neatly placed. Audio loud and clear. Live streaming underway. Programs published. Diplomas readied. No detail left untended. Graduates, please join me in extending our fondest thanks and gratitude to your dedicated TCNJ staff. Thank you. You may be seated. Commencement is a proud moment in the life of a college and a very proud milestone in the lives of our degree candidates. Class of 2022, this celebration in your honor and the degree you will receive signal a significant and meaningful milestone. From this day forward, no matter where life takes you, you will be a graduate of the College of New Jersey, one of the nation's finest institutions of public higher education. Class of 2022, on this day when we honor you, please allow me a personal reflection. For the past 4 years, when someone asked me, "So how long have you been at TCNJ?" I would reply with my class year, as in, "Well, I'm in my sophomore year," and they would know that I was in my second year as president. Or, "I am in my junior year," or, "This past year, I am in my senior year." Arriving here in 2018, as many of you did, means that we came to this wonderful place together. The fact of that timing allows me to say something that I have never before been able to say at a commencement, and I will never again be able to say in the future. And it is this: you are my class, and I will always have a special place in my heart for you. You have witnessed my time at TCNJ, and I have witnessed yours. We have been together for the ups and the downs, the triumphs and the blunders, the jubilations and the sorrows, and all of the in-between experiences and emotions. We have grown together through a remarkable 4-year period in our lives, in the life of this college, and in the history of the world. I am so grateful for your companionship and your inspiration. Class of 2022, as you prepare to start your next chapter, and as I prepare to stay at the college a bit longer, we rejoice, we celebrate in your achievement, and we thank you for all that you have brought us. Thank you for your energy, curiosity, and activism. Thank you for making our campus more accessible, diverse, inclusive, and sustainable. Thank you for authoring papers, creating projects, presenting your research, running clubs, reforming policy, leading our teams to victory, and beautifying our lives with your acting, singing, dancing, art, music, and design. Thank you for raising funds, organizing events, tilling our garden, volunteering, serving, and leading. In short, thank you for making this place a better place. For all that you have brought us, we hope we have given something in return. We hope that your courses stretched your mind and that you found new passions and skills. We hope you have enjoyed new experiences and talked deeply with people who are different from you in background and viewpoint. We hope that you contemplated and reflected on your values and convictions. We hope that you found opportunity, confidence, friendship, and joy. Most of all, and considering all that has happened over the past 4 years, we hope that TCNJ has been there for you and that we helped you find your uniqueness and your sources of strength. And so I say, on behalf of a proud and grateful college, thank you, congratulations, and go get 'em, class of 2022. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce your dean, Professor Lorna Johnson Frizzell, Interim Dean of the School of the Arts and Communication.
Thank you, President Foster. Parents, graduates, grandparents, siblings, faculty, staff, welcome to the 2022 School of the Arts and Communication Commencement Ceremony. Good morning. Graduates, today we are here in honor of you and everything that you have accomplished while at TCNJ. On behalf of the faculty and staff in the School of the Arts and Communication, it is my honor to celebrate. I'm going to say the name of your department, and please feel free to yell. We are celebrating the graduates of the Department of Art and Art History. We are celebrating the graduates of the Department of Design and Creative Technology. We are celebrating the graduates of the Department of Communication Studies. We are celebrating the graduates of the Department of Journalism and Professional Writing. And we are celebrating the graduates of the Department of Music. Great. Nice and loud. Today is a day of celebration. And today we also remember. We remember one of your fellow classmates who we lost during your time at TCNJ, Jason Sajkowski. In his memory, we have placed a ceremonial hood and commencement program on a seat in the front row. We continue to think about and remember him despite Jason's absence. We know he would have been proud of your accomplishments. Jason's loss is deeply felt, and I know especially within the Department of Music. But please, let him inspire you to move forward to the fullest of your abilities. At this moment, we would like to acknowledge graduates earning honors. Your academic, I can say that word, your academic distinction is impressive. Listed in the program are the names of graduates earning Latin honors who have earned overall GPAs of 3.6 or better on a 4.0 scale. On this academic occasion, let us take a moment to further recognize you. I will ask you to rise when I identify your Latin designation. Will the 37 baccalaureate candidates earning cum laude designation, signifying a cumulative GPA of 3.6 to 3.74, please rise if you are able to, or wave if you are not. Congratulations, it's very distinctive. Please be seated. Will the 41 graduates earning magna cum laude designation, signifying a cumulative GPA of 3.75 to 3.89, please rise if you are able to, or wave. Congratulations. And will the 20 graduates earning summa cum laude, our highest academic distinction, signifying a GPA of 3.9 or better, please rise if you are able to, or wave. Nice. Congratulations. Graduates, you are all distinctive. You will make your mark. You will use the tools you have honed here to make your mark through music, art, film, journalism, design. You might create curriculum, or you might conduct research, quantitative or qualitative research. Please, please make your voice heard. While you've been here, you've made your voice heard as musicians. I witnessed the performance of Weather, phenomenally impressive. While you were here, you made your voice heard in films and photography. This past semester, there was a photography exhibit celebrating Asian American and Pacific Islander life, culture, and history. Stephanie, shout out. You've made your voice heard as young journalists, writing for The Signal, and earning collegiate press awards for your work from the New Jersey Press Foundation. Continue to strive to make a difference in the lives of others. In 1983, a young Trenton State College graduate had just completed his finals in the Department of Communication Studies and was sitting where you are today, probably just as tired as you are this morning. And in the next decade, Andy Polanski would make his mark in public relations, leading an international marketing and communications firm. I am certain he didn't know what awaited him as he was a young man sitting in your seat. Andy has received the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Institute of Public Relations, and this year received the Larry Foster Award for Public Integrity for his commitment to truth in public communication. So graduates, as you begin your journey into your professional life, we are fortunate to have Andy here, as he was in the exact same position as you are now, a young person about to embark on a new journey. I would like to welcome Andy Polanski to the podium.
Thanks, Dean Frizzell, for that kind introduction. Much appreciated. It's so nice to be back on campus and a real honor to be with all of you today as you've received these degrees you've earned over the past 4 years. And congratulations not only to you, but as well to the parents and friends, all the folks that supported you all through this journey. It's hard to believe that 39 years ago, I was reflecting on my 4 years here, wondering about the future, and more importantly, considering how many parties I could squeeze in over the weekend. Not that any of you are doing that right now. But what I couldn't fully appreciate then is how well my 4 years here prepared me, not just for my career, but for my life. And one of the things that really stands out to me about my college years is the importance of the personal relationships that I formed. The friends that I met here at TCNJ, including my wife Maria, who is in the audience here today, we met 35 years ago, or we got married 35 years ago, just this month. We met our sophomore year, and it's been an amazing ride ever since. So TCNJ certainly has a special place in my heart. I'm reaching a milestone next month. I'm retiring after a 38-year career, leading a group of marketing services companies. It was an amazing experience. I got to meet inspiring colleagues, business executives, and government leaders, and got to travel to cities all around the globe in that capacity. And as I step back and reflect, what comes to mind is how important it is to cultivate and invest in relationships all through your professional lives as well. It's working in partnership with others that leads to the best outcomes. By working together and understanding each other, we open our hearts and minds and discover where we can make good and important things happen, not just in our homes and in our work, but in our communities as well. That has never been more important. We live in times that are more complex and harder to navigate. And all that has happened in the world in just these past few years is a lot to wrap your head around. Yet it is in that context that you're preparing to figure out what's next for you. I'm sure lots of questions are running through your mind. Where can I make an impact? Do I want to work in the private sector or the public sector? Should I work for a for-profit company or a nonprofit company? Or some of you may be thinking, can't I just hang out here for another year, maybe? But here's the good news. There's a lot of reasons to be optimistic. There's a battle for talent across industries, so job candidates can be selective as they evaluate their options. And companies and organizations are reinventing how we work, creating more flexible situations for a healthier work-life balance. It's an environment ripe for graduates with the liberal arts and more specialized academic experiences you have under your belts. You have the critical thinking skills that fuel the great ideas that organizations need. You can help them address their toughest challenges. But finding a good fit for that first full-time job can be daunting. So here's some practical advice about how to stand out and prosper in the next chapter of your lives. So first, back to the importance of relationships. Be connected and stay connected. Be a good, active listener and be empathetic. Consider and respect all points of view. And regardless of where you land and what you do, make a difference. I'm sure this is an intellectually curious group. Take initiative and volunteer for new projects and challenges. That might mean getting out of your comfort zone every now and then, but it will lead you down some interesting paths. And most importantly, tell the truth, always. And be kind. Be kind. One of my favorite quotes comes from the late Maya Angelou, who said, "I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." So take advantage of this inflection point in your lives. Think expansively about all of your possibilities before you take that next leap, and build relationships all along the way. We all spend a lot of time thinking about what to do next. But remember, it's how you do what you do that matters. Congratulations, and thank you.
Andy, thank you for being with us today and providing our graduates with such valuable and wise advice and perspective. At this time, I ask that you turn your attention to the College of New Jersey Wind Ensemble, conducted by Eric Laprade, Assistant Professor and Director of Bands, and the College of New Jersey Chorale, conducted by Professor of Music and Director of Chorale Activities, John Leonard, as they present The Road Home by Stephen Paulus.
Tell me where is the road I can call my own, as I
That was very moving. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Suzanne Hickman, Professor of Music, to address the graduates.
Thank you, Dean Johnson-Frizzell. Good morning, everyone, and congratulations, graduates. First, I want to thank my faculty colleagues for asking me to speak today. And then I want to confess to all of you that when I sat down to write this, I was totally freaked out. And then, and my students can attest to this, after helping students for 42 years get through their performance anxiety for solo performance, I needed to take my own advice. I should breathe, prepare, practice, and use what I know. So, here goes. I have taught voice students to communicate the text of their songs and through their vocal technique, artistry, articulation, and inflection of languages, as well as their facial expression, gesture, and body language. It comes down to teaching students to create an entire universe in which their character lives so they can express the meaning of the text. Students use their research skills, knowledge of musical style, musical skills, musicality, vocal technique, and imagination to create what we call a character. Indeed, graduates, we are a school of creators. Everyone works to create something, each using a different medium. Some work with the written word, some work with images, and they're generated in many different ways, some with sound, and some with sound and words. And many of us explore and expand our art by using several of these things at once. In addition, we all strive to imbue our work with meaning, with an intention to educate and inform, perhaps, or an intention to stimulate discussion, to create understanding, to engage the senses, to inspire, to create a community, and yes, even to entertain. I firmly believe that many people would not have gotten through the past 2 years without the art and communication forms that you all have been studying and practicing in order to get your degree. I believe that we are essential contributors to the well-being of our society. Graduates, you have shown creativity, fortitude, courage, and a vast amount of what my grandmother used to say, stick-to-itiveness, in order to finish your degree. This is no small task during a pandemic. My fervent wish is that you continue to work through your lives to create new forms of your art and to explore what needs to be enhanced and scrutinized in today's society, letting your art go into the world and change it. Congratulations, graduates.
Good morning, family, friends, faculty, staff, and the class of 2022. It is my honor to speak in front of you today. My name is Emily Obenauer, and I spent my 4 years at TCNJ studying music education. Whether these 4 years passed by fast or slow, it is hard to believe that they have already come and gone. Class of 2022, I ask you to recall our convocation day in August 2018. It was blistering hot with absolutely no wind, and we sat on Green Hall lawn in those plastic white chairs, sweating. President Foster spoke to us about everything we can accomplish in our time at TCNJ. After the ceremony, the new students of each school met with their dean. Our dean at the time, Dr. Hall, spoke to us about telling stories. Whether we studied music, art, communication studies, journalism and professional writing, or interactive multimedia, there was a story for each of us to tell, that each of us was responsible for telling. During our first year, I don't know about you all, but I compared myself to Dory from Finding Nemo. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. As a musician, I was trying to learn what I even wanted to do, where I wanted to put my talents and my energy. Telling a story, that was the furthest thing from my mind. However, by the end of my first year, I was starting to figure out my identity as a person and as a musician. Through singing, I learned to tell stories of the past and present, stories that were complete fiction, and stories that were almost too real. Music takes meaning beyond the ink on the page. It makes you feel something. We all know that. To my music colleagues, we have all successfully told stories. Otherwise, we would not be here today. Finding a personal connection to my work allowed me to create with deeper meaning. That's something we can all relate to. Class of 2022, think of your 4-year body of work. What is a story you have told? What is a story you are proud of? What is a story you look forward to telling? I'm sure you have many. Thank you. I'd now like to introduce Rachel Senecola, interactive multimedia major and graphic design minor.
Congratulations, class of 2022. We made it. After all our hard work and perseverance these past 4 years, I'm so excited to be graduating with you all here today. When asked about our sophomore year of college, I'm sure that one of the biggest memories that comes to mind is leaving campus for spring break, only to enter a lockdown that felt endless. I know I felt like my whole world changed adjusting to remote classes and the new way of the world. However, class of 2022, despite the challenges that came with sophomore year, I found it to be the year that my TCNJ story changed for the better. I vividly remember touring TCNJ on Lions Day back in 2017. I remember being anxious about all the changes that were to come with starting college and having to decide what I wanted to do to pursue my career. I remember stepping into the AIM building for the interactive multimedia interest session and listening to Professor Kaipoff discuss the versatility of the major and opportunities it gives students post-grad. Most of all, I remember in that moment knowing this is what I wanted to do in my life, as my mom turned to me saying, "This is the school for you." Despite being confident in my major and where I wanted to go career-wise, I had a really difficult time adjusting to the changes of college life. I had difficulty making friends and tried joining various clubs and organizations, but I felt like I didn't belong in the TCNJ community just yet. My sophomore year was the time that I met the people that I consider to be my best friends. And this solid foundation that I built allowed me to prosper as a campus leader through the change to a virtual environment that we found ourselves in towards the end of our sophomore year. Whether facing the challenges as president of my sorority, designing graphics for SIGGRAPH as the social media manager, or facilitating the adjustment to college life for first-year students as an orientation leader during Welcome Week, sophomore year was the turning point of positive change for my life at TCNJ. The people I met and the leadership roles that I took on helped me to find my place and feel like I truly belonged in the department and the TCNJ community. That's my story, but I know that all of you have found your passions and communities in our school and elsewhere on campus. I hope that you will use the skills you have gained and the knowledge you've learned to create positive change and follow a successful path in your future. I now ask Stephanie Shen, Communication Studies major with a specialization in radio, television, and film, to come to the lectern. Thank you.
My junior year here was a special one. It's the year that I officially switched into the major that I'm graduating with right now, communications with a specialization in radio, television, and film. And I think that's a perfect introduction to my story. Hi, again, my name is Stephanie Shen, and I changed my major 5 times throughout my time at TCNJ, 2 of those times being before I had even started my first semester. Changing programs halfway through college seemed daunting, but I had the most creative, inspiring, and supportive professors in the comm studies department that I could have ever dreamed of, as I'm sure many of you have in your respective departments. I wrote my first ever short film screenplay, an accomplishment that seemed too far out of reach back when I was solving integrals and vector functions as a math and statistics major. I landed an interview for an NPR internship, all with the help of a TCNJ alum. I had a class with a professor who would eventually be the reason I have my postgraduate job at NBC today. Shout out to Professor Matt Lawrence. Thank you. I wouldn't be who I am today without TCNJ. Studying something in the arts never seemed like an option to me growing up. But I, like many of you here, after deciding to come to TCNJ, took a leap of faith. We all trusted our gut instinct as to what we should do next with our futures. And given that we're all sitting here right now, I think it turned out pretty well for us. Although our specific experiences at TCNJ may be very different, I can say with certainty that almost all of you here went through a similar journey of self-discovery and self-fulfillment. Look at what you've all been able to accomplish. TCNJ taught me to trust my instincts, and I hope you all leave here confident in your ability to do so as well. Congratulations, class of 2022. I'd now like to introduce Ren Mclean, a double major in fine arts and art history and visual culture.
I come from a long line of artists, all the way back to my great-grandmother and likely long before her. That is because we are all artists in our own ways, even if we do not see it. We are makers, creatives, and we are all telling stories in the ways that we know best. The start of mine was attending TCNJ. When it came to TCNJ, I scheduled out my 4 years to a T, all to make sure I could be here with you all. I tried to balance my 2 majors that I knew I wanted, and there were changes in plans, and there were bumps in the road, as we all know. But those unexpected plot twists were some of the best chapters of my story. They allowed me to have new opportunities, like working with a professor for the Munter undergraduate summer experience, taking an independent study, and going off campus to art councils, museums, and even working with faculty at the Philadelphia Museum of Art. Now reflecting as a graduating senior, I cannot say there is one defining aha moment, but instead it was the little victories that powered me through those tough days. I know that is the same for all of you. The little victories are what really matter. A good test grade when you stayed up all night, the elation of surviving a group project, a big club event finally happening, or hanging out with your friends after a long week. All of these moments have shaped our TCNJ story. While our journey will continue beyond today, this will probably be the last time we are all in the same place and on the same page. This is the final chapter and a milestone worth celebrating, and it is ours. I now turn the lectern to Camille First, journalism and professional writing major.
Good morning. Despite my great-great-great-granduncle being Mark Twain, there is no genetic makeup for the passion of storytelling in my life. I wasn't born to be a writer. But in these past 4 years, I've come to realize something. I don't think anyone is born to be a writer. As a matter of fact, the desire to tell stories can culminate just as easily as it had for me by chance. I didn't seek out my passion for storytelling, I stumbled upon it. But I would soon fall in love with stories and their power to impact, to change, and to heal. In my first 4 years as a journalist, families told me stories of their loved ones who died from COVID-19. A mayoral candidate told me his story of narrowly escaping a shooting in his campaign office.
Structural engineers told me about the Florida building collapse in June that devastated local communities and reverberated across the nation. A student who was harassed for the color of her skin told me her story of fear. New Jerseyans protesting such harassment told me their stories of frustration. A witness to the Brooklyn subway mass shooting told me his story of the unthinkable. A man who volunteers at a soup kitchen he once received food from told me his story of hope. And a man who was in prison for 6 years on a wrongful conviction told me his story of redemption. It's only been 4 years. I don't know what stories I'll hear in the future, but I do know this. These stories are not about us. Yet we, as members of the School of the Arts and Communication, have the privilege of telling them. And as the writer Thomas Griffith said, journalism is in fact history on the run. We, the graduating class of 2022, have every intention of running with it. So let us tell these stories, and let us tell them well. Thank you.
Graduates, thank you for all your wonderful reflections. You have certainly taken seriously the charge to learn the art of storytelling. We are proud of your accomplishments and know you will continue to realize great success. I now ask President Foster to return to the lectern.
In a moment, we will confer degrees, after which graduates will hear their name called and will walk across the stage. Many are wearing cords or stoles to signal academic, leadership, and organizational honors and affiliation. These symbolic adornments reflect the significant contributions that you have made to the college. May they remind you of your achievement and of our gratitude for your commitment and service. It is now my pleasure to ask Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs Jeffrey Osborne and Dean Johnson Frizzell to come forward to present the candidates for degrees.
Thank you, President Foster. The conferral of your degree marks the culmination of your hard work and your academic persistence. The movement of the undergraduate candidates' tassels from the right to the left is the symbolic gesture of the conferral of your degree. Dean Johnson Frizzell will now present the undergraduate candidates for degrees. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, the President will then officially confer the degrees.
Thank you, Provost Osborne. Will the faculty from the School of the Arts and Communication please rise to join me in celebrating the graduates? Will the candidates from the School of the Arts and Communication for the Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, and Bachelor of Music degrees please stand? That's everyone. Provost Osborne and President Foster, the candidates from the School of the Arts and Communication, whose names appear on the printed program and who have successfully met the requirements for the Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, and Bachelor of Music degrees, are hereby certified by the faculty for the receipt of their degrees.
Are you ready? This is it. Candidates for the Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, and Bachelor of Music degrees. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the College of New Jersey, and in recognition of your attainments in completing the requirements, I confer upon each of you the degree you have earned and admit you to all the rights, privileges, responsibilities, and obligations pertaining thereto. You may move your tassels from the right to the left as a symbol of your accomplishment. Congratulations, graduates. You may be seated.
Before we begin the graduate roll call, I have the following instructions for our graduates. When your field marshal asks you to rise, you will follow them to the stage. When you hear your name called, please walk across the stage and pick up your diploma cover from the center table. The photographer will take your photo at the designated spot when you walk off the stage, and we will then ask that you return to your seat. Mr. John Anastasio, member of the class of 1969, will serve as your name reader.
Emily Obenauer. Ren Mclean. Camille First. Stephanie Shen. Rachel Elizabeth Senecola. Benjamin Butcher. Carl Martin Conrad.
Congratulations.
Jonathan Delegata. Nicholas Harold. Nicole Apicelli. Callie Colasino. Matthew Edelman. Dustin Marino. Thomas Lilja. Celeste Cruson. Tendril Prabhu. Ryan Weltner. Catherine Kromek. Anthony Huynh. Leah Davidoff. Hakan Hateolu. Kyle Ackerman. Vincent Terraneo. Jamil Marshall. Christopher Judish. Brian Shantz. Antonio Bivacqui. Diana Rakowski. Essence Collins Everett. Priya Pai. Rebecca Jelovitz. Sabrina May. Megan Segal. Julia Rogers. Hannah Coward. Jennifer Ahmad. Jody Maloney. Nicolette Shankalapori. Marie Verga. Brianna Titus. Renee Garzillo. Juliana De Meola. Vivica Irby Chu. Eric Plowden. William Buteau. Ana Camila Gutierrez Castillo. Yarlingen Polanco. Majestus Murphy. Hadassah Green. Alistair Winter. Logan Curtis. Ali DiGrazio. Alexa Diello. Caitlin Ciriliano. Jacqueline Ilson. Hannah Manning. Jack Roma. Cole Episcopo. Terrell Powell.
Love it.
Giovanna Galina. Katrina Gutierrez. David Kim.
Congratulations, David. Congratulations.
Megan Dunn. Caitlin Dunkel. Benjamin Harris Elman. Danielle Hecht. Michael Condoracci. Malcolm Henry. Sean McCowan. Julia Meehan. John Brubaker. Dalton Robert Hutchinson. Garrett Bunis. Joshua Schoenfeld. Patrick Mclean. Jason Sikora. Mason Bohm. Evan Vallecia. Kieran Nashad. Giovanni Ospina. Giuseppina DiMaglio. Olivia Bowman. Rebecca Rose Schroeder. Christopher Marcantonio. Nicolette Padilla. Leah Stuso. Catherine Sonta. Mia Decker-Stecken. Nicholas Marsola. Delia Campos Ferreira. Isabel Vega. Brenna Kiefner. Madeline Yankowski. Jordan Sava. Abigail O'Shea. Phoebe Geller. Devin Fatsinitz. Valerie Lynn Moran. Lauren Corrado. Gabrielle Meyer. Natalie Smith. Hunter Blackman. Alyssa Morgan Stuchera. Lauren Schweighardt. Nicole Carberry. Jamie Hennig. Kira Makowski. Carly Noki. Wandalee Vargas. Ryan Strankowski. Matthew Colossos. Chloe Madison Sena. Barbara Cucci. Christopher Morera. John Caperna. Marcos Ochoa. Alexandra Del Duca. Allison Kemp. Tyler Rodriguez. Sydney Gennaro. Bridget Teresa Kelly. Vivian Elise Murphy. Angelina O'Brien. Olivia Picard. Kelly Tucker. Allison Ewell. Brittany Schofield. Jenna Marie Armenta. Victoria Vricella. Stuart Gruters. Christopher Zuzzolo. Michael D. Cordan Diaz. Brandon Reynoso. Grace Reynoso. Shay Price. Julia Rufofar. Morgan Sebasto. Giovanni D. Delgado. Jennifer Collins. Megan Healy. Joe Ohm. Stephen Walsh. David DeSoma. Luke Solsenti. Shayna Scavelli. Sarah Keelis. Kayla Lockwood. Caitlin Hackett. John Linares. Robin Abrams. Ji Yun Han. Richard Miller. Caitlin Dwyer. Megan Constable. Tyler Torrey. Danielle Britton. Alexandra Long. Caitlin Walters. Natalie R. Gregorio. Lauren B. Conroy. Sophia Pop. Cameron Lay. Dana Corville. Robin Regal. Leonard LaRocca. Michelle Brianna Zerone. Iana Brittany Weinberg. Jamie Elizabeth Yose. Jacob Gerald Ford. Anthony R. Mora. Antonio, I'm sorry. Alexandria Llewellyn Rudolph. Adrian Camano. Terrence Odonkor. Julia Alice Duggan. Mackenzie Miller. Teresa Sweeney. Sarah Sardoni. Melanie Katz. Ryan Barry. Carlos R. Orta. Ryan Haupt. Joseph Gibbs. Amanda Spratt. Melissa Jade Smith. Caitlin Michelle Canetto. Keith So. Catherine Ann Villardi. Ann Pascal. Nicholas Napier. Zachary Lorman. Gaia Hutchison. Colin Byers. Stephen Perry. Claudia Lacerda Gonçalves.
How about another round of applause for all of our graduates? Before we conclude our commencement exercises for the class of 2022, there is one last thanks to give. Graduates, this is your achievement, but it very likely came with abundant support and encouragement. Will all the family members, friends, and loved ones who have come today to celebrate with a graduate, please stand if you are able. Graduates, whether your loved ones are here today or not, please rise, turn, and give those standing here and watching online a deserved round of applause and thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the singing of the Alma Mater, led by Adrian Camano and Alexandria Rudolph, members of the class of 2022, accompanied by the TCNJ Wind Ensemble. The words to the Alma Mater appear on the back cover of your program. Thank you. You may be seated. Upon the singing of the Alma Mater, I want to take this opportunity to acknowledge two of our graduates. This year, Professor Teresa Nakra led a class which considered alternative arrangements to our Alma Mater. We are thrilled to be incorporating one of these new arrangements in our various commencement ceremonies. Jennifer Ahmad and Jody Maloney, would you please rise? Thank you for your video and audio production of the new version of our Alma Mater. We look forward to enjoying it for many years. Now, please note that this alternative version will start our formal recessional in just a moment. So congratulations on a job well done. Thank you. You may be seated. Before we begin our recessional, I ask all graduates and guests to please help us prepare for our next ceremony by not leaving programs or water bottles at your seats. Graduates, please follow the instructions of our field marshals to recess from the stadium. Guests, please follow the instructions of our staff volunteers to exit the stadium as swiftly as possible using the gates to your right and left. In a moment, I will formally close the commencement ceremony. But I have one last alert, I guess you would say, moment of preparation for our graduates. Now, some of you have decorated your mortar boards, some of you have pinned them in. But if you were inclined to toss your mortar board high in the air at this milestone moment, please get ready, for this is that moment. It also gets the cameras ready. All gathered, as I formally close the 2022 commencement ceremony of the College of New Jersey, I invite graduates to toss their caps if they choose, as we offer one final rousing round of applause for our graduates. Thank you. And now please follow the directions of your field marshal and listen for the recessional. Thank you.